Tennessee Titans franchise here on Madden 23. Today we will be continuing our long-term simulation. We're going to get through two more seasons today, going through the 2028 and 2029 NFL seasons. In the last episode, we went through the sixth season of the series. We went through the season in its entirety, and we ended up repeating as Super Bowl champions, defeating the Seattle Seahawks 28-14. We were the number 7th seed in the playoffs and had only road games throughout the postseason, leading into the Super Bowl, which we were able to get the better of the Seattle Seahawks, with running back Elijah Bryant winning the Super Bowl MVP. So we have now won 2 championships in a row. We're looking to add 2 more today as we go a little bit faster than we did in the last episode, while still going slow enough to really take in and enjoy these seasons. We were able to run it back from our original Super Bowl squad from Season 5, and I think for the most part we should be able to keep a decent chunk of the core together for quite a bit, but it's going to start to become really challenging. Kevin Byard retired. We talked about his career at the end of the last episode. He's going to become a Hall of Famer without a doubt. Usually 15,000 legacy points is kind of the mark, and he ended up breaking it. Kevin Byard's had a great 12-year career here, and it's perfect that he retires with 2 consecutive Super Bowl championships. Throughout most of this series, we've had a lot of cap space because we haven't had a ton of guys on the roster who we've had to pay, but with all of our super high draft picks entering their second contracts, we don't have the financial flexibility that we once did back in seasons 2, 3, 4, etc. And we're also going to have to pay our quarterback today, and he's most likely going to ask for a large chunk of change. So we've got to be smart with how we manage our finances as we start with the retirements phase. Some big names here include Khalil Mack, Devontae Adams, Alvin Kamara, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Tyler Lockett, Darren Waller, Austin Eckler, and others. No other Titans outside of Kevin Byard, so Derrick Henry and all of our other veteran players will be running it back. Henry's now 34 years old. He's really starting to regress. He's only a 92 overall. During our first Super Bowl year, Season 5, he was still a 99 overall, but here during the long-term sim, he has finally met Father Time and is not winning the battle, although we are on record watch with Derrick Henry, who has nearly 16,000 rushing yards, 159 touchdowns, and he's averaging by far the most amount of rushing yards per game in NFL history. Apparently, he's only played 1 game. But as it stands now, Derrick Henry is the all-time active rusher in yards, touchdowns, and certainly yards per game. All-time, he is currently 5th in rushing yards. If he gets 1,000 this year, he can catapult himself up to 2nd. But rushing touchdowns is really the one I'm watching here. He's 10 behind Ezekiel Elliott, who just retired. So if Derrick Henry gets at least 11 touchdowns on the ground this year, he will be the NFL's all-time leader in rushing touchdowns. Pretty cool. Let's hop into the re-signings phase of the offseason. We have $75 million to spend. We've got to bring back Elijah Bryant for sure. He says no, though. Not ideal. Some other guys I would like to bring back include Josh Sweat. We're going to offer him a 1-year extension. He is back. Kicker Daniel Carlson, we're going to look to re-up for 2 years. He says yes. Quinn Crew, I'm going to look to give a 3-year extension. Punter Jeffrey Walker is back for another 3 years. Hot Rod Pryor will also be getting a 3-year extension. He says no as well. Carlisle Kaplan, the center, is going to get a 3-year extension, but he also says no. And then we're going to give Alexander Ekwueme 2 more years. He says yes. We're going to look to give Kareem Bouare 3 years, and then he says yes. So we've got a few guys who ended up saying no. Elijah Bryant will get the franchise tag for $12 million, while Jaquan Brisker I'm going to let go. And then Hot Rod Pryor and Carlisle Kaplan I'm going to look to re-sign in this year's free agency class. As for Brisker, I'm letting him walk because we have plenty of other good young safeties who are ready to get more playing time. If you need a running back, this free agency class is for you. All the good players in here are running backs. Luke Coghill's a pretty intriguing player. Remember, we almost drafted him in the first round of season number 1. But other than some of those top guys, there really aren't many interesting players here. I'm just going to try to run it back with Pryor and Kaplan. I'm looking for a new backup quarterback, so we will give Garrett Pace, our old friend, a short 1-year deal, and then I'm looking for another edge rusher, so we will sign Chinogo Chusier. All 4 players would accept. We have a 5th-year option here for quarterback Romeo Coloci. This is obviously a no-brainer. The assistant GM says we had a hard time getting him to find the field this year, which is weird because he was our starting quarterback. We're going to have him take the 5th-year option. So this is the last year of his rookie deal. Then he's going to make a little bit over $20 million the following season. And then we're going to get him likely on a record contract extension. We ended up signing some more depth players through the rest of free agency class. We have about $10 million left to spare. The Jaguars lost Alvin Kamara to retirement, so they signed both Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley. Jaquan Brisker is a Packer. Former Titan Mecole Hardman signs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Other than that, we didn't really lose a whole lot of other players here in this class, although Sidney McDonald signs with San Francisco. They're replacing Trey Lance just a few years after he won a Super Bowl with them. Former Titan Chidobe Awuzie signs with the Bears, and that'll bring us to the 2028 NFL Draft. The Texans have the number 1 pick for seemingly the 20th straight year. They picked a really good offensive tackle prospect. As for us, we didn't really move up and down around the board. There's the top quarterback, Riley Thompson. He goes to the Falcons. Our top pick was Danny Dorsey, a 78 overall defensive tackle. This guy looks like an absolute beast. We kind of had a challenge of only picking players from the state of Oklahoma. Our top 3 picks played for either Oklahoma or Oklahoma State. So that'll bring us into the 7th season of the series. The offense is literally the exact same for the most part, although Carlisle Kaplan, the center, is going to be out for a couple weeks. He got hurt in preseason. But this is the same offense now for the 3rd consecutive season. The defense does look a little bit different. We have 2 new starting safeties with Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker gone. And the new starters will be Amani Ward and Athanase Gothero. We're going to start our season at home, of course, on the Thursday night kickoff game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, with plenty of other primetime games filled in there as well. We're going to simulate up to the midseason mark, and we will also keep an eye on Derrick Henry's record here. We're certainly going to look to play the moment where he scores the record touchdown, if that were to happen. I also want to point out, Romeo Coloci had a breakout challenge that he completed, so he now has Superstar X Factor, which is pretty cool. He originally had Superstar after he won the Rookie of the Year, and now he moves up to X Factor, which is really exciting. I gave him the Gambit ability, and here are his Superstar abilities as well. So at the midseason mark, we're doing fine. We're 4-3. The Jags are 6-0. They obviously beat us in week 1. We've been playing fine so far. Derrick Henry, though, looking really good with 8 touchdowns this year, 167 on his career. He passes Emmitt Smith to become 2nd, and he's really close to getting 1st. We've got a lot of guys we need to pay here. That starts with Elijah Bryant, who will agree to a 6-year extension. He is back. Harold Landry has not aged at all. We're going to give him a 3-year deal. And then we're going to make a massive trade with the Bears, sending away James Daniels, a 2nd-round pick, and a 7th to get pass rusher Babatunde Momadou. He already signed a contract extension with Chicago. I know it's not really a realistic move, but I'm just trying to keep the team good. Part of the reason why I made that move is I don't want to pay Azeez Ojulari. We're going to trade him to the Steelers for Apis Phillips. He's an X-Factor defensive lineman. He's not like a young guy, though. He's 27 years old. He was drafted back in the very first year. So we're going to actually be able to add a 2nd-round pick out of this. We lose our 2nd, but we get Pittsburgh's instead. So Babatunde Momadou will start where Azeez Ojulari was. I think that'll be an upgrade. And then Apis Phillips will be a rotation guy for now. I think he's got a shot to start possibly next season. So we're going to hop into our Week 11 game now against the Texans. Why this game specifically? Derrick Henry has scored 169 rushing touchdowns. He needs 1 more to break the record. And here from the 12-yard line, the King has entered his castle for the 170th time in his NFL career, which is an all-time record. Hats off to King Henry for now being the NFL's all-time rushing touchdown leader. Derrick Henry with the score. What a career he has had now at 34 years old. Likely in one of his final seasons of his career. Breaks the record for the most rushing touchdowns in the history of the league. We're going to simulate through the rest of the regular season into the playoffs as we finish 12-5 and ended up getting the 6th seed in a super deep AFC conference. In the NFC, that probably gets us the 1 seed. The AFC is so much better. Romeo Coloci had himself another phenomenal season as he continues to up the price tag. He's now a 95 overall and 97 with morale. Derrick Henry finished with 18 rushing touchdowns this year. Elijah Bryant had a good season too. Scottie Pickens was great. He scored 11 touchdowns this year after scoring 10 in each of the first 5 seasons. And then defensively, we had 3 guys in the double figures with sacks, although Babatunde Momadou was kind of quiet, and he's injured for the playoffs as well. Caleb Farley led the way with 4 interceptions. None for Cardell Simpson, though, interestingly enough. Here's a look at some of the leaders around the rest of the league. The new Texans quarterback finished very highly in passing yards, although the Texans had another bad season. I'm pretty sure they had finished in last in the division again, which has been very consistent throughout this series. Breece Hall won the rushing title. Derrick Henry was second in rushing touchdowns, only behind Brody Kluge. Jarvis Carlisle was the leading receiver. He was an undrafted player back in Season 1. So much so that he wasn't even in the NCAA Next Up series. He was just a filler player in the draft class, and now he leads the league in receiving because he's the slot receiver on the Rams. That'll happen with the Rams' offensive playbook. George Charbonnet II with 20.5 sacks, the pass rusher out of Idaho. He's been a total stud with the Arizona Cardinals. As for the awards, Romeo finishes in third for the MVP, while auto-generated quarterback Esteban Castillo ends up winning it. We had a number of other award finalists, offensive, defensive player of the year candidates, along with guys in the running for the best players at their positions. Although Ed Oliver was the only player who won an award, taking home the best defensive lineman. Good for him. So with that, we will advance into the playoffs, and we are going to start off in the wild card round against Lamar Jackson and the AFC North champion Baltimore Ravens, who finished as the number 3 seed in the AFC. The Titans and the Ravens had kind of started to form a little rivalry in real life, and I was hoping that would kind of carry into this series. But the Ravens haven't been consistently good. It's been the Bengals consistently at the top of the AFC North. And this is the first time that these two teams have played against each other in the playoffs. So hopefully it'll be a fun game, but not too stressful. Hopefully we can get the win here, looking at chase for our 3rd consecutive Super Bowl championship. We're going to once again be playing the moments here like we did in the last episode. We're already on the board with a touchdown, and we're going to see if we can try to extend the lead here about halfway through the quarter. 3rd and 8, Kalochi under pressure. Hit as he throws, and Quinn Crew drops the ball. That was in his hands. He should have caught it. But Quinn Crew was unable to come down with it. And so the Ravens would march down the field. Now the defense has got to get a stop as it's a 3rd down and 5 from the 24. Play action fake. Lamar looks to throw. It goes short for Andrews, who does not get the first down. Pushed out of bounds by Harold Landry. The Ravens are going to go for it on 4th and 1. I like the aggressiveness here as it's a handoff for Melvin Chaisson, and he will not get it. The defense comes up clutch with the stop on 4th down, basically in the red zone. So now the offense gets it back here early in the second quarter. 3rd down and 8. Kalochi looks to throw it. Very risky throw, and it's dropped again by Quinn Crew. He's dropped a couple of balls here. Daniel Carlson would make a field goal. It's 10-0. Ravens answer back with a field goal, and the offense gets it back. 3:21 left to go in the 3rd. It's a 3rd and 3. Elijah Bryant with wide open rushing room up the middle. The reigning Super Bowl MVP brings it to the 17, but Kyle Pitts is hurt, which is not exactly ideal. From the 17, here on 1st and 10. Kalochi hands it off for Derrick Henry, the king. Wide open rushing room. He is hit hard in the end zone by Kyle Hamilton. He does get the touchdown, but Garrett Wilson is now injured. That's 2 receivers for the Titans hurt. Tennessee would then get the ball back, looking to really turn this into a blowout, but on 2nd and 3, Kalochi is sacked by Tykeem Rogers, the former Georgia pass rusher. 3rd and 12 now. Quinn Crew had it in his hands, and it's broken up. And now Evan Smith is hurt. Now the entire offense is literally falling apart. So now into the second half, it's still 17-3. The Ravens would add a touchdown, so they're back in the game. But the offense would bring it here into the red zone with under a minute left in the 3rd quarter at the 15-yard line. On 1st down, it's intercepted! Romeo, what are you thinking, dude? Kyle Hamilton picks it off. That was a horrible throw. So the Ravens are going to look to take advantage here. They have it in the red zone with an opportunity to potentially tie up the game. 2nd and 3. Lamar Jackson gets it to Mark Andrews. He'll bring it inside the 10 before being wrapped up by Hassan Drame. 3rd and goal from the 5. Lamar under pressure. He will throw it away. Harold Landry quickly flocking into the backfield. 4th and goal now. Baltimore will look to go for it. We'll see if they can convert. Lamar looks to throw it. He's under some pressure, and his pass is intercepted in the end zone by Athanase Gothero. He's going to look to return it. Gothero's got nothing but green grass ahead. And Athanase Gothero takes it 102 yards for a Titans pick 6. What a play by Gothero, who we acquired via trade in the last episode from the Las Vegas Raiders. It's now a 2-score game. We should be able to finish off the job. The Ravens have to go for it here on a 4th down in the red zone at the 15-yard line with the game essentially on the line. Lamar looks to throw it. His pass is going to be caught, but out of bounds by Boo Boo Drame. And with that, this game is going to be over. The Tennessee Titans win it here in the wild card round 24-10 and are moving on to the divisional round. Romeo Colucci was absolutely abysmal in today's game, yet we still found a way to win, which shows how good this team is, but Romeo's going to have to play better. His numbers were dreadful. 9 of 22, 96 yards and an interception. Lamar Jackson wasn't great, but, he was better than Colucci, which, doesn't say a lot, but still. Derrick Henry was awesome. He does not look like he's 34 years old. He looks like he's 24 years old. And then the defense was great. Huge pick 6 by Gothero, returning it 102 yards to the house. So most likely we're going to play against the Jags in the second round, but that's not going to be the case because 7th seed New England upset the Raiders, and we'll be facing off against the New York Jets instead. Both 7 seeds, interestingly enough, won their matchups. So let's take a look at the New York Jets, who defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. We've played against the Chiefs in the playoffs for 4 consecutive seasons, but the streak ends. I don't blame the Chiefs for dodging us after we've beaten them 3 years in a row, but instead we're going to play the Jets here at MetLife. We haven't really seen the Jets a whole lot in this series. They haven't been all that good of a team. They are led by former Oregon quarterback Barrett Cherokee, who they drafted in the first round the same year we picked Romeo Colucci. And Cherokee's turned into a pretty good player. They had the rushing champ, Breece Hall. They've got a really good defense. Obviously, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, and others. We, of course, stole Garrett Wilson from them. Not that Garrett Wilson was really all that good with the Jets. 3rd and 4 from the 45. Barrett Cherokee looks to throw it. He's under a little bit of pressure. Goes short for Breece Hall, who is lit up. But he gets the first down, despite the big hit by Asher Gonzalez. We'll see if the Jets are able to score, as they would eventually bring it into the red zone. 2nd and 10 from the 16. Cherokee looks to throw it. His pass is caught, and Breece Hall will stiff arm R.J. Robinson into the end zone for a touchdown. The New York Jets, Jets are on the board at 7-0, and then we would turn over the ball. The Romeo Colucci playoff struggles will continue, and on 2nd and goal from the 1, Barrett Cherokee connects with Jameer Kafili, the former UCF receiver, for a score. And the New York Jets lead it 14-0 already. Not a good start at all. So we've got the ball in the red zone here to start the second quarter. We've got to score, bring ourselves back into the ball game on 1st and 10. Short pass is caught by Quinn Crew. He will make it to the 7. Good play for the offense. Following play now for Tennessee. Romeo Colucci looks to throw it. He's going to actually look to run it, and he keeps it himself and is in for a score. Good run by Romeo Colucci, and the Titans are back in the game. It's now 14-7. Good drive for the offense. We needed that one desperately, and then we would tie the game, but the Jets would get the lead right back. It's 21-14. We've got a 3rd and 5 from the 49. Colucci looks to throw it. He connects with Scotty Piggins, who gets it to the 27-yard line. Good play there as the Colucci to Piggins connection continues. We would score a touchdown to tie it up. We'd add another touchdown early in the second half, and now we're really in a groove. The offense started off slow. Now they're making plays, though. 3rd and inches, play action fake. Garrett Wilson, the former Jet, will bring it to the 18-yard line. Good play by Garrett Wilson, and now we can make it a 2-score game with the football in the red zone from the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal. Derrick Henry does not get it. Henry has been unbelievably good today, but he's unable to punch it in. And on 4th and goal at the 2, we're just going to take the points. I know it seems like a very conservative play call because we're this close to the end zone, but a field goal makes it a 2-possession game regardless, although Daniel Carlson has the yips, it looks like, but it's not going to affect him with a short 21-yard kick. But that could be something to monitor, as it nearly had us lose the AFC Championship back in Season 5. So we're up by 10. We're in a pretty good spot here. The Jets are going to go for it here on a 4th down with around 8 minutes to go. 4th and 6 from their own 48-yard line. Cherokee looks to throw it. His pass is caught for a first down to the 38-yard line by Devin Duvernay. So the Jets are going to keep the game going for a little while longer. They would not score, then they would. So it's 31-28. It's time for us to finish off the ball game here. Looking to chew some clock at the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 2. It's a read option trying to fool the defense, and it does not work. Romeo Colucci gets stopped. 4th and 2. A field goal only makes it a 6-point game. It would still be a 1-possession deficit. And with Daniel Carlson having the yips, we're going to go for it. Handoff for Elijah Bryant, and he will barely get it. Gaining around 3, and the Jets are going to have to burn another timeout. Another first down would officially end this game for good. On the following play, Derrick Henry busts up the middle. Whoa, pause. He'll gain around 6, and the Jets have to call their final timeout. We'll see if Tennessee can now look to finish off the game here on a 2nd down and 4. The Titans are 4 yards away from going to the AFC Championship for a 4th straight year, and Derrick Henry will do it. He pounds through the hole. Whoa, pause again. For the first down, and I think it's safe to say this game is now over. 31-28 your final. The Titans get the job done despite another pretty bad performance from Romeo Colucci, who has not looked good so far in the playoffs. But again, we keep finding ways to win despite his struggles. Barrett Cherokee was also kind of bleh. Wasn't all that impressive. Derrick Henry with another monster game. Again, he's running like he's 24 years old, not 34. Colucci, by the way, 6 of 9 on the ground. Nice. Ed Oliver with 2 sacks, few interceptions for both teams. So we're going to the AFC Championship, expecting to see the Jaguars. However, the number 7 seed in New England Patriots are going to keep their Cinderella run going. So the 2 lowest seeds are going to be playing in our conference, while the Washington Commanders are back in the NFC Championship for a 3rd straight season. They'll look to finally get over the hump and make the Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers looming. We will start with our game, though, here against the New England Patriots, and it's kind of interesting that we're seeing them because this means we actually get to host a playoff game. Last year, we were the 7th seed. We got no home playoff games. This year, we've won 2 playoff games on the road. So already, during the long-term simulation, we've had 5 road playoff games plus the Super Bowl. And it's kind of crazy because before that, Romeo Colucci had never played in a road playoff game in his Titans career. But here we are now. He's 5-0 on the road, and he gets to return back home. Our first home playoff game since the Season 5 AFC Championship against Kansas City. Here we are 2 seasons later with 2 Super Bowl championships, looking to get a 3rd. The offense is looking pretty good here in the opening minute. We've already got the ball past the 50, and we're not even a minute into the game, as it is a 3rd and inches. Handoff for Derrick Henry. He will move to the left side. Big first down run before being pushed out of bounds. Evan Smith, though, hurt on the play again. He was a little bit banged up in the wild card round against Baltimore. We would score, and then we would get another nice drive, bringing it near the red zone of a 23. On 3rd and 5, Romeo rolls out to the right. He's under pressure. He outruns Kobe Bryant, looking for the end zone. It's dropped by Kyle Duggar. So the New England defense gets the stop. We'll likely have to kick a field goal here to make it a 10-0 game. And sure enough, Daniel Carlson would miss it. So it remains 7-0. The Patriots are going to get it back here in the red zone at the 7, 3rd and 2. Mac Jones goes short, and we are tied up. The touchdown from the veteran tight end, Hunter Henry. And this game is knotted up at 7 apiece. So New England takes advantage of the missed field goal and the really good field position. So now we've got to respond, and we will, it looks like, as we bring it in the red zone. Looking to score here before the end of the first quarter. Final play of quarter number 1. 1st and 17. Colucci is sacked on the play by Josh Uche, former Eagles franchise legend from last year, if you know, you know. And that'll wrap up the first quarter, 7-7. I feel like we've been the better team so far, but it hasn't shown in the score. 2nd and 26, Colucci under more pressure. He's sacked by Kobe Bryant. We got to see Kobe Bryant really turn into a star in the NCAA Next Up series at the University of California. And it's a 3rd and 39 now. We're going to have to go deep. It's incomplete. We had the ball in the red zone, and now we're barely even in field goal range. It's a 60-yarder for Carlson, who had the yips last week, and today he's missed a kick from shorter range. So naturally, of course, he's going to split the uprights right down the middle from 60. And so the Titans take a 10-7 lead. After we missed the last field goal in the sim, I didn't feel comfortable letting the game do it, so I felt like I had to go in and kick for him. The Patriots are going to get stopped, and then we will have the ball back in the red zone. 2nd and 2 from the 18-yard line. Handoff for Elijah Bryant. He'll get the first down, but Scotty Piggins is hurt, and his injury will be enough to keep him out for the rest of the playoffs. A massive loss for the offense, losing our number 1 receiver. The good news, though, is that Derrick Henry will score, and we end up getting a touchdown drive, making it a 2-score lead as he struts down the red carpet. Kyle Pitts with a really sick slide. But it comes with a cost. Our number one receiver is done for the remainder of the year. So we end up making it 17-7. We'll see if the defense can continue to play well. Short answer, no. We allow points. But we still are up by 7. We've got a 2-minute drill. One problem is we're starting inside the 10. So we've got pretty poor field position. But not for long. Elijah Bryant gains 22 up the middle. Now a 3rd and 10 for the 31. Kolochi on the run. Scrambles with it. Romeo has Kyle Pitts wide open. He'll bring it to the 46. Big play for Pitts. 2nd and 9 from the 45. Kolochi looks to throw it, goes downfield, and it is caught by Scotty Pickens at the 19-yard line. Now from the 10, it is a 2nd down and 1. Romeo Kolochi looking for the end zone. He connects for a touchdown. It's Hot Rod Pryor with the score, and the Titans will take a 14-point lead, most likely into the half. Yes. 24-10 here into the 3rd quarter. The Patriots are going for it early on a 4th down. It's a 4th and 1. I like the call. I like the aggressiveness. A field goal would keep it as a 2-score game. We'll see what New England has planned here as it is a pass, and Mac Jones will connect with Hunter Henry short for a gain of around 7, which is more than enough to keep the drive moving. After all that, though, New England would only end up kicking a field goal anyway, so it remains a 2-score game. But hopefully not for long, because we've got the ball in the red zone at around the 6. Romeo is in the zone, and Derrick Henry is in for another touchdown. Derrick Henry's current playoff run at 34 years old has been unbelievable. He has been probably far and away the best player on the team this year, again, as a 34-year-old running back. So we're now kind of up big. New England would score a touchdown, though, but we're going to look to pretty much ice the game here on this next possession. A little over 5 minutes left to go. It is a 3rd down, 3rd and 8 to be exact, from the 25. Romeo still in the zone as he connects with Garrett Wilson for a 1st down to the 10. Good play there by the Tennessee offense. They'll keep things moving, looking to pound it in here in the red zone and add some more points. 3rd and goal from the 9. So far, so good for the Patriots' goal line defense. Romeo's hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. So we're only going to be able to make it a 2-score game here with a likely field goal here for Daniel Carlson. This one should be a gimme from around 26 yards. It is up, and it is good. So it's now 34-20. We're in a good spot. We're up by 2 touchdowns. There's no way we should really blow this game, right? We have not a lot of time left on the clock, maybe around 4 minutes. So New England's going to go for it here on a 4th down. They really don't have a choice, obviously, at this point. 4th and 2 from the 40. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. It's a handoff to the fullback, and he does not get it. Big stop by the defense, and now we will look to potentially ice the game and clinch Super Bowl 63, or at least an appearance there. We can officially ice it here on this possession, which we missed the field goal, and New England quickly scores, so we're only up by 7 now. The Patriots do have to recover this onside kick if they want any shot here, though, and it'll be picked up by Quinn Crew, who quickly dives to the ground. We don't want any funny business, no fumbles. So this game is over. The Titans win the AFC Championship 34-27. And with that, we are advancing to Super Bowl 63, our 3rd consecutive Super Bowl appearance as we look for the three-peat and officially becoming a true, legitimate NFL dynasty with the Washington Commanders or the Green Bay Packers awaiting. This ended up being a competitive game that we always had control of, despite a nice little comeback in the 4th quarter by the New England Patriots. Romeo Kolochi finally played well. It's about time. Mac Jones also played well. High-level quarterback play across the board. Derrick Henry continues to dominate here in the playoffs. Quinn Crew had a really good game. He'll certainly have to step up in the Super Bowl as well because we will not have Scotty Pickens healthy. His injury is not a major one, but it is one that will keep him out for the remainder of the season, a broken thumb. And again, we're already without Babatunde Mamadou. So who's it going to be? The Commanders or the Packers? It feels like the Commanders are due. They've been in the NFC Championship 2 years in a row. They've lost both times. Is 3rd time the charm? No, because they are the Washington Commanders. They are an eternally cursed franchise. They lose to the Packers 31-28. Gotta feel bad for this team. They just cannot get over the hump. They have the weirdest quarterback room ever. Their backups are Bryson Byrne, Desmond Ridder, and former Packer Genesis Moon. Of course, Bryson Byrne being a former Tennessee Titan as well. He was the backup over the last 4 years before we let him go this offseason. Bruce Dobson is the Packers quarterback. He didn't even play all that well. They do have a fun group of skill position players that I'm excited to dive into here in just a moment. A lot of very recognizable names from the NCAA Next Up Dynasty. Here's a look at your Pro Bowl roster. No Titans for the third consecutive year because, well, we have better things to do than the Pro Bowl. That, of course, being Super Bowl 63. Can we win our third consecutive championship? 1 ring means you got the job done. 2 means your first ring wasn't a fluke. And 3 means you're an NFL dynasty. And the fact that we might be able to get these consecutively is really impressive. The Packers only went 9-8. They're only an 86 overall, which isn't necessarily bad. But on paper, we should beat them. If we get the win here, this is obviously going to be huge for our players' legacies. And we will one-up the Eagles franchise because during the long-term sim of the Eagles series, we only won 1 championship along with the championship that we won in the series. So we can pass the Eagles in championships here in just the second season of the sim. Let's get a look at Bruce Dobson, who the Packers drafted a couple years ago. He's an auto-generated quarterback out of Ohio. Seems like they finally found their Aaron Rodgers replacement, and his backup is our good friend Malik Willis. They have a lot of recognizable names from the Next Up series. Kobe Henderson from Clemson, John Wiggins from Michigan State, Harry Stewart from TCU, Josh St. George from TCU, and they've got a good defense as well, which includes former Tennessee Titan Jaquan Brisker, who's looking for his third consecutive championship as well. So let's hop into Super Bowl 63. It said in the main hub screen that this game was in Indianapolis, which I thought would be a disadvantage for us because, the Colts are a division rival. But as it would turn out, this game is actually in Minnesota, which I think goes to our advantage because the Packers are obviously a big-time rival of the Minnesota Vikings. So hopefully we can take advantage here, win our third consecutive Super Bowl against a Packers team who, as you all probably know, I very much dislike, being that my team is in the NFC North. I obviously have a strong hatred towards the Green Bay Packers, so hopefully we can get the win here so I don't have to look at Packers players hoisting up the Lombardi Trophy. Let's get this game started here. Super Bowl 63. The Packers are already marching down the field. Their offense is looking pretty good here on the opening drive, as it is a 3rd and 10 from the 20. Green Bay now has the ball basically in the red zone. Bruce Dobson looks to throw it under pressure, and it is out of bounds, trying to get it to John Wiggins, the former top 10 pick out of Michigan State. I'm not going to play this drive. I'm going to let the game control it. We would do nothing, though. Green Bay's back in the red zone. You may have noticed the Packers don't have any points, though. They actually missed their field goal on the last drive, so they're looking to finally score here, but that won't help their case. Josh Sweat is in the backfield with a sack, and the Packers are now backed up at the 17-yard line as it is a 3rd and goal. We'll see if Green Bay can finally punch it in here. Dobson looking to throw it. He'll go short for the former Clemson running back Kobe Henderson, who of course was teammates with quarterback Kate Hutchinson, who plays in this stadium regularly, being with the Minnesota Vikings. Kobe Henderson would only gain 3, so the defense gets another red zone stop. We'll see if Green Bay can actually score this time. The kick from 31 is good, and the Green Bay Packers are on the board first here in Super Bowl 63. Malik Willis holding. It feels weird seeing him here, in the Super Bowl after he was our starting quarterback for a good 2.5 seasons within the series. So the offense would march down the field. We would bring it into the red zone as we look to finally get some points of their own. 3rd and goal. Derrick Henry is not in. The Packers get the stop. It's Hill who makes the play. We almost drafted Hill a couple seasons ago in the first long-term sim draft. 4th and goal at the 1. Romeo punches it in on the QB sneak, and the Tennessee Titans are on the board at 7-3. Good job by Kalochi to punch it in. And so we end up scoring points. We get the lead. We'll see if the defense can continue to produce. And it doesn't look like it because the Packers would very quickly bring it into the red zone. It's a 3rd and 10 from around the 20-yard line. Dobson looking to throw it. He's under pressure, and he is sacked by Harold Landry and Josh Sweat. The Packers have been in the red zone 3 times today. And it looks like, assuming they make this kick, they will have a whopping 6 points to show for it, as the kick is good. Our red zone defense has been clutch. The Green Bay Packers offense has been a lot more efficient than ours, but they haven't been able to find the end zone, which is why they find themselves down 7-6. Let's see if the offense can get some more points. Look to extend the lead here going into halftime. Big drive here for the offense, in my opinion. And sure enough, we do not score. The Packers will get the ball back. It's a 3rd down and 5 at the 47 with under 3 minutes left in the first half. On 3rd down and 5, Dobson will go short for the backup tight end, Eric Moorhead, the former Texas A&M Aggie. Gag him as he brings it to the 32 for a 1st down. The Packers would then bring it into the red zone again. Will they finally actually score a touchdown? 1st and goal, 1 minute to go. They will. It's a touchdown for Josh St. George, the former highly drafted TCU tight end. And so it is 13-7. We're going to hop into this drive here looking to get the lead back before halftime. On 1st down, Colochi goes up the middle for Kyle Pitts. Plenty of room ahead as Pitts gets it to the 49-yard line, and we will call timeout number 1. We still got 2 in our back pocket. We still got good field position as well. On 1st down, Colochi, though, is sacked, and Evan Smith is hurt again. This is the 3rd time in 4 playoff games that he's gotten injured. 3rd and 15 now, 40 seconds to go. Play action fake. Romeo has an open man. It's Kyle Pitts who will haul it in, bringing it to the 37, quickly wrapped up by Quay Walker. Time is ticking, about 15 seconds left. Colochi looks to throw it. He connects with Quinn Crew, who is quickly out of bounds of a 14. Crew has had a big first half, really stepping up with Scotty Pickens injured. About 10 seconds left now for the lead. Colochi back to Crew, and that'll bring the Titans to the 2 with 6 seconds left. I think we have enough time for at least one more play from scrimmage, but we cannot let the ball stay in the field of play. Incomplete, out of bounds, or better yet, touchdown! Garrett Wilson puts the Titans ahead here before the end of the half as he does a cartwheel and a flip in the air. 14-13, going into halftime. The Titans take their first lead of the game, and we'll see if we can keep the momentum rolling. 3rd and 6 for the Green Bay Packers. Dobson looks to throw it, and he will be incomplete. Big hit by Caleb Farley. So we're able to get the stop, and the Packers are going to go for it on 4th down. No, they're not. Wait, it said they were going for it. So it turns out they're going to fake the field goal. Willis flips it to Eric Moorhead, who does not get the 1st down, unsurprisingly. We kind of expected the fake because the scenario said they were going for it. So now the offense has another 3rd down. 3rd and 7 to be exact. Colochi's back in the zone, and he only gets 2. Rashawn Gary, though, hurt on the play for the Packers. That's a big deal, being that he's quite good. Both offenses would really struggle here. Same score here with about 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter as we have a 3rd and inches from the Green Bay 39. Colochi hands it off for Elijah Bryant. That is a 1st down. He only gains 2, but that's more than enough. Good play from the offense. Can we get some points? Well, we're in the red zone. 2nd and 4 from the 16. A touchdown right about now would be huge. Colochi looks to throw it. He will connect with Hot Rod Pryor, who is a yard short, brought down at the 1. We'll see if Tennessee can extend the lead here on 1st and goal from the 1 as Derrick Henry is back in the end zone. He has scored in all 3 Super Bowls in what could be his final NFL touchdown. Derrick Henry is going to be 35 next year. I'm not convinced he's sticking around, so it's good to have him in the end zone. And now the offense has a chance to officially end the game with a little over 2 minutes left. 2nd and 5, Henry is going to go backwards for a loss of about 3. Big stop by the Packer defense. Pooh Trevins Jr., the safety out of Texas State, brings him down. 3rd and 8 now at the 2-minute warning. Packers are probably going to have to start calling their timeouts. Huge play here as Colochi goes short for Garrett Wilson, who brings it to the 30. So Green Bay gets the stop, but we are in field goal range. And a 47-yard kick here for Daniel Carlson would make it a 2-score game. His kick is up, and it is good. So the Titans are up by 11 points. We shouldn't blow it here. The defense has been phenomenal in the second half. Green Bay has not scored at all in half number 2. So we'll see if we can keep it going and finish off the game. They're going to go for it here on a 4th down with only 1 timeout left in the game on the line. Dobson downfield for Wiggins. It's overthrown. And this game is over. The Tennessee Titans have completed history. They have three-peated. The Titans have won Super Bowls 61, 62, and now 63 by defeating the Green Bay Packers 24-13. Talking about taking advantage of the window that you have with a talented quarterback on a rookie contract. That's exactly what we did with Romeo Colucci. With the 4 years of him not making much money, we went to the AFC Championship, then we won the Super Bowl, then we won the Super Bowl, then we won the Super Bowl again. Romeo Colucci, at just 26 years old, has now won 3 Super Bowls here in his young NFL career. It's going to start to become more challenging. Colucci's going to be on the 5th-year option next year. Then after that, he's probably going to be making record money, and it's going to be a lot more challenging to keep all of these guys still on the team. So the fact that this core was able to win 3 championships together feels really good, because it's going to mean we're going to have to start making some tough decisions here over these next few off seasons. Romeo Colucci had a pretty good game. The numbers aren't going to fly off the page, but he was really solid. Bruce Dobson started off the game good, wasn't all that great late, and then Malik Willis even got to throw a pass. Quinn Crew was phenomenal, 9 for 127. Could he be the Super Bowl MVP? Maybe it's Francis Bullock-Kamoa, who had 2 sacks in this one, or could it be Romeo Colucci? Ultimately, the game would end up giving the Super Bowl MVP to quarterback Romeo Colucci. He wins his first Super Bowl MVP after Elijah Bryant and Caleb Farley won it the last 2 seasons. It's a little bit of a surprise, though, because Quinn Crew won the Offensive Player of the Week, but Colucci gets the game's MVP. Kind of similar to the first Super Bowl, where Cardell Simpson won the Defensive Player of the Week, but Caleb Farley won the Super Bowl MVP. So with that, we will move into the offseason looking to prepare for season number 8, and immediately we get some huge news. Derrick Henry will, in fact, be hanging up the cleats after 13 seasons in the NFL with the Tennessee Titans. What a career it has been here for Derrick Henry, who has been a star for well over a decade at this point. When we started this series, he was the face of the franchise, and that never really wavered. Even with adding guys like Romeo Colucci, Scottie Pickens, and Cardell Simpson, Derrick Henry was the engine and the backbone of the team. He's been phenomenal through this series over the last 7 years, and even as an older player, now 35 years old, he never really lost a step statistically. Only a 4-time Pro Bowler, but he finishes 2nd all-time in rushing yards, only behind Emmitt Smith. And of course, this season, he broke the record for the most rushing touchdowns in NFL history. So I think it's pretty fair to say Derrick Henry is without a doubt one of the best running backs to ever play the game. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and we are grateful to have had him in this series over the last 7 seasons. So we're certainly going to miss King Henry on the squad. But if there is some silver lining, Elijah Bryant finally gets to be the main bell cow running back. He's only 26 years old, so I still feel like there's plenty of time with him. He's been a trooper playing to his role over the last 5 years, averaging around 1,000 scrimmage yards per season as somebody who lines up in the backfield, lines in the slot. He's going to primarily be used as a running back going forward, and he's going to be the main ball carrier on the team for the very foreseeable future. Jonathan Allen retires, as does former Titan Trey Hendrickson. Saquon Barkley is done. Chris Jones is done. Justin Simmons, Tre'Davious White, Tyler Boyd. Chidobe Awuzie retires as a member of the Chicago Bears. Interestingly, Awuzie's development rate has gone up in each of the last 2 seasons. But Awuzie has been a really solid player for us. He finishes his career as a 2-time champ, won one in 2023 after being traded at the deadline of the Cowboys. And then, of course, he won one here in his final season with us after finishing his career with the Rams and the Bears. Other players here include David Montgomery, Keanu Neal, Jadeveon Clowney, Quandre Diggs, and others. So with that, we will now hop into the re-signings phase. And again, we've got to be smart with our money because we've got a quarterback to pay soon. Nate Davis is back on an extension. I think Francis Bullock-Kamoa's best football is ahead of him. We're going to give him a long-term deal for 6 years. Amani Ward will be getting a 4-year extension. He accepts, so he will be back. I want Josh Sweat to return. We'll sign him for 1 more season. We only have $8 million left. That's not going to be enough for Ed Oliver, who I'm fine with letting go, even though he did just win the Best Defensive Lineman award. We do have other young players on the defensive line who I think will be able to replace his production. Our left tackle, UG Treston, will also be gone along with pretty much everybody else here. So that'll bring us into free agency. We don't have a lot of money this year. We don't have a lot of long-term flexibility with the future contract that Romeo Colucci will be getting. So we're going to have to be smart here with our money. We're really only going to be looking for a couple of cheap options. So I ended up having a pretty quiet free agency, but I was quite active in the trade market. I wanted to find bigger contracts and guys who I don't really want to pay long-term because we obviously have to clear up Romeo Colucci money. And I came across Kyle Pitts. He's obviously a really good player. He's a 99 overall, but the way I see it is the tight end position does not have super high positional value, especially in Madden simulation. And I want to prioritize the players who we've drafted throughout this series. So we're going to be trading Kyle Pitts back to the Falcons for the number 1 pick and offensive lineman Stephon Fingard. Is this a realistic trade? No, not in the slightest. But at this point in the series, I'm not so worried about realism and more so focused on keeping the squad together and making sure our team can stay as good as possible. We have a 5th-year option for Josh Parks. I'm going to say no here. Very similarly with Asher Gonzalez a couple years ago, I think extending him is just going to end up being cheaper. Looking at the free agency results, Ed Oliver ends up signing with the Washington Commanders along with Vita Vea. Maybe both of them will finally be the missing pieces for the Commanders. Here are some of the other notable signings, and then the other big loss for us, Eugene Treston at tackle, ended up signing with the Jets on a 2-year deal for roughly around $20 million. So that'll bring us to the draft, and guess who's on the clock? Number 1, it is us. There's a lot of quarterbacks at the top, and there's a lot of pass rushers. I tried to find a trade that I liked, and ultimately I really couldn't find one. So we ended up sticking here with the number 1 pick, and I went with Jeremy Mayweather, a pass rusher out of Texas A&M. Edge rusher isn't really that big of a need for us, but he looks like the best non-quarterback on the board. You can never have too many good pass rushers, and with Josh Sweat and Harold Landry getting older, I think it's a good pick. He's only a 72, though, which feels a little bit underwhelming. The top of his class wasn't all that good, but even so, I'm a little bit disappointed that he's only a 72. He does have hidden development, though. Our other first-round pick at the end of the round ended up actually being a much better pick, with Richard Costanzo, a tight end out of TCU. He's a 74 with hidden development. He's going to be the day 1 starter with Kyle Pitts gone. TCU tight ends have had a good track record in this series with Latrell McAllister in Seattle, Josh St. George in Green Bay. We've seen both of those guys help their teams make the Super Bowl and lose to us. The rest of their draft was rather uneventful. So this is what the lineup looks like going into the second and final season today, the 8th season overall. Our number 1 pick already had his development trait revealed. He only has star, so that kind of sucks, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's take a look at our early season schedule as well. We start with our Thursday game, of course. We're going to be hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. That should be pretty fun with plenty of other primetime games in there. I'm really curious to see how Elijah Bryant performs being the full-time running back. I'm very confident that he's going to be able to produce. And here we are at the trade deadline with a record of 5-2. Things are going quite well at the moment. I don't really have any major moves I would like to make in the trade market, but I would like to talk contracts with some players, particularly Romeo Colucci, who is due for an extension this year, and we've got to hand him the big bucks. The offense has been really good so far. Romeo's been on fire to kick off the season, so he's obviously going to cost a lot of money. He's currently asking for $329 million, and the interest meter is completely in the red, so we're going to have to give him even more. Our offer is a 7-year contract for north of $400 million. It's the very player-friendly offer. He'll be making around $59 million per season, and the total value being over $400 million through the next 7 seasons. Colucci's annual salary is far and away the biggest in NFL history. He'll be making north of $60 million most seasons. In 2034, he'll be making $73 million. Get your bag, kiddo. Way to go, Romeo. We only have $24 million left to spend on a lot of players. We're not going to offer anybody else now. We're going to worry about that in the offseason. So we ended up finishing the season as the number 1 seed, 14-3. Us and Carolina finished at the top. Could we get a Super Bowl rematch with the Panthers? After our trade deadline, we lost in Week 8 to the Colts, and then we didn't lose again. The team has been on fire. We have won 9 in a row leading into the playoffs. If there's any year where we're going to win a 4th straight Super Bowl, it would be this season, headlined by an MVP caliber season from Romeo Colucci, who, by the way, is now a 99 overall with morale, and, of course, his bank account is $400 million richer. Elijah Bryant was pretty good. Scotty Pickens was really good, though. 20 touchdowns. Through 6 seasons, he now has 81 career touchdowns, which is 18 more than Julio Jones through his entire career. And it's basically the same as Antonio Brown and Calvin Johnson. And he's only 28 years old. So Scotty Pickens has a real shot to put up some crazy numbers through the rest of his NFL career. We had multiple double-digit pass rushers. Cardell Simpson with 5 interceptions after getting none, surprisingly, last season. As we take a look at the numbers around the rest of the league, it really looks like Romeo Colucci had the best season amongst the quarterbacks. So I think we could be looking at a potential MVP award for our star quarterback. Jonathan Taylor wins the rushing title. Elijah Bryant didn't get the ball enough to really qualify. Jarvis Carlisle goes for 2,000 yards. I thought Scotty Pickens would have the chance for Offensive Player of the Year, but that's going to prove to not be the case after the year that Carlisle had in that Rams playbook where the slot receivers get so many targets. Roman Horn is the sack leader. Trayvon Diggs is the interception leader. And there you go. Romeo Colucci does win his first NFL MVP here at 26 years old. Pickens is second for Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC. Romeo in the running as well. Richard Costanzo wins the Rookie of the Year in the AFC. That's quite exciting. And then a lot of our other players ended up being eligible for positional awards. Harold Landry won the best linebacker. Cardell Simpson won the best DB. And obviously Romeo Colucci won the best quarterback. With us having a first-round bye, we will simulate to the second round. Now we'll be facing off against the lowest-seeded team who ends up winning their first-round matchup. And sure enough, all of the higher seeds ended up winning. So we will face off against the New England Patriots. They demolished the Chiefs in the first round. The Chiefs are intentionally losing here in the playoffs over these last couple of seasons so they can dodge us. I can't blame them since we beat them pretty often in the postseason. We beat New England last year in the AFC Championship, so this is a fun opportunity for revenge. Mac Jones has really developed into a great player here with the Patriots. The Patriots actually did sign Tua Tagovailoa fairly recently, but he is actually the backup for Mac Jones, interestingly enough, which is weird because I feel like Tua is more than good enough to start somewhere like Atlanta, but oh well, it is what it is. So New England would end up starting this game on fire. They're already up 10-0 within 6 minutes of the game starting. We've got to respond quick. On 3rd and 7, Romeo gets it for Bryant, who drops a wide-open ball. Can't do that. We would tack on the field goal. It's 10-3. Now the defense has got to get a stop. New England's offense has been really good so far. They already have 10 points, of course, here in the first quarter, so the defense has got to get rolling. And that's not how you do it. Ryan Faison with the first down for the Patriots. That'll keep the chains moving. A few plays later, we would get another 3rd down. This time it's a 3rd and 7 from the 31-yard line. So New England's already in field goal range, but I'm sure they're thinking more than field goal here. Mac Jones is under some pressure, though. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he throws it away. Good pressure by Harold Landry and the fellas. New England would kick, and it's 13-3. Our offense would then bring it into the red zone. This is the perfect opportunity to really put ourselves back in the game. Elijah Bryant to the left side with a big run. Woo! Nice little spin move by Bryant. He's in for the touchdown, but Nate Davis is hurt. Not ideal. So it's 13-10 now. New England would score another touchdown, so we're back down by 10. Although the defense is continuing to struggle, I will say the offense is starting to look better. Colucci connects with Garrett Wilson to the 16-yard line. Romeo only 9 of 19. Not a great start here for the NFL's most valuable player. Now the Titans have the ball in the red zone, looking to make it a one-score game once again with 5.5 to go in the second quarter. On 2nd down, Colucci connects with Scotty Pickens. He is in for a score. So Scotty Pickens will make it a one-possession ball game, his 21st touchdown of the year, counting regular season and playoffs. The offense continues to play better, and the defense continues to, not play well. Both defenses would start to play better, and now we're going to get the ball here with under 2 minutes to go. Same score, looking to tie or take the lead on 1st down. Under some pressure, good play by Scotty Pickens, who gets it to the 41. Got to move quick, though. Time is not on our side. We've got 2 timeouts and a little over a minute. On 2nd down, Pickens wide open downfield. Brings it to the 24. Would have been nice if he could have gone out of bounds, but okay. The Titans still with both timeouts from the 4. 2nd and 2. Passes caught by Scotty Pickens for the score. And the Tennessee Titans take the lead before the end of the half. Colucci and Pickens have now connected for 2 scores here in the first half. The offense is continuing to roll as it's 3rd down and 11. Play action fake. Romeo down the field. It's broken up by the defense. We'll see if New England can take the lead here, as they'll need to convert this 3rd and 9 in order to do so. Big play here for the defense. They're really starting to play well over the last 10 minutes as it's nearly intercepted. Caleb Farley could have caught it there. He's unable to. New England tacks on 3. So it's a 1-point game. New England has it in the red zone. 3rd and 3 from the 12. Mac Jones looks to throw it. He's under a little bit of pressure, goes short, it's caught, and that is a touchdown for Ryan Faison. And the New England Patriots will regain the lead here early in the 4th quarter, and they would get the 2. So it is now a 7-point game. The offense returns with a little over 6 to go, 3rd and inches. Elijah Bryant gets the first down, gaining around 4 or 5, and that's all he will need to keep the drive going. Now it's 69 yards on the day. Nice, and we would ultimately tie it up. So New England will get the ball back with 5 minutes to go. It is a 3rd down and around 8 from midfield. Mac Jones looks to throw it up the middle for a wide open man. It's Michael Pittman, who throughout his career with the Colts is really tormented with this Titans defense, and now he makes a big play here as a member of the Patriots. New England with it in the red zone. 2nd down and 2 for the lead. Mac will connect with Michael Pittman once again, and the Patriots are on top late in the 4th quarter. So New England does their job. They march down the field, they score a touchdown, and now the offense needs to respond. Things are not starting off great, though, as it is a 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line. Colochi looks to throw it under a little pressure, and he will connect with Honrod Pryor, who brings it to the 40. Good play there for the Titans. Now a minute and a half to go. It's another 3rd down, this time 3rd and 8. Colochi up the middle for Pryor again. That's another 1st down. Tennessee trying to hold on to their timeouts here for as long as they can. We've got another 3rd down now. It is a 3rd and 11. Romeo looks to throw it, backs up in the pocket, rolls out to the right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone for Pryor. It's broken up. Huge 4th down here for the Titans. Their potential 4-peat could be on the line, and Colochi is sacked by Josh Uche. Not looking good here for the Titans. We've got to get a stop here with 50 seconds left to go. A 1st down ends it for New England. 3rd down and 4 for the Patriots. A handoff for Afework Chike, and he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Hassan Drame. The Titans will get the ball back. We've got to look at the replay, however, as we take a look here. So we get the stop, and it looks like we will get the ball here. I did look at the play again and take a close look right about now. The right knee is down. The ball is still very clearly in Chike's possession. However, the booth decided not to review it. We just dodged a bullet. And now we've got another chance to tie the game. We have an extra timeout that we're going to waste immediately on the first play of the drive. Not ideal. 2nd and 7 with 30 seconds and no timeouts. Colochi down the field as a wide open man. It's Garrett Wilson. He's off to the races. A 62-yard touchdown. And we are tied up at 38. What a turn of events. A bad call off of a fumble, leading to a long touchdown from Romeo Colochi to Garrett Wilson to tie the game. I assumed the play of the moments would bring us back in, but I accidentally simulated the beginning of overtime. New England won the toss, and then they turned the ball over again. So we now have it at the 32, and all we need is a field goal to win the game. Wheel route for Bryant, risky throw, it's caught, and Bryant takes it himself to end it. Elijah Bryant with the receiving touchdown, and the Titans are going to the AFC Championship for now a 5th consecutive season. To be honest, we did not deserve to win this game. We were down by 7 with 40 seconds and a timeout with a bad call by the officials off of a fumble from New England, which very clearly was not a fumble. We took advantage, scoring in the end of regulation and early in overtime to get the win. Even if we kind of didn't deserve it, we did take advantage of our opportunity after the bad call. The quarterback play was phenomenal across the board. Mac Jones was good. Romeo was very good. New England had trouble holding on to the ball, though. Chike fumbled it twice, albeit one of them wasn't really a fumble. Scotty Pickens was great. He scored 3 times. The defense, not so great, but they forced a big turnover when they needed to, even, again, if it shouldn't have counted. But we're not complaining. We're going to the AFC Championship against either the Raiders or the Bengals. And sure enough, it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals, while in the NFC, the Panthers will face off against the Los Angeles Rams. Like us, the Bengals have been consistently good throughout this series, yet we have never played against them in the playoffs until now. Whenever we play Cincinnati in the regular season, it ends up being a crazy good game, so I'm hoping today it'll be similar. We'll see if our Tennessee Titans can advance to our 4th consecutive Super Bowl. We've won 3 in a row. We're looking to add another ring to the mantle to turn ourselves not just to a dynasty, but to the greatest dynasty in the history of the National Football League. We're looking good early. We would score a quick touchdown, but the Bengals are starting to move it down the field. They have it in the red zone. It's a 3rd and 5 from the 10. Joe Burrow looks to throw it under pressure. He is sacked, but there's a flag. Harold Landry had the sack already. That's such an unnecessary face mask after the play from Babatunde Momadou. What are you thinking, dude? Harold Landry had the sack. So it's now a 3rd and goal from the 4, and sure enough, the Bengals will score. It's Xavier Apple-Benz with the touchdown, and the extremely unnecessary face mask by Momadou results in an extra 4 points for Cincinnati. We're tied at 7 with around 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 5, handoff for Elijah Bryant. Good run to the left side. He'll get the first down, bringing it to around the 26-yard line. Let's skip a little bit further now into the second quarter. It's another 3rd down, this time 3rd and 6 from the 22. Kalochi looks to throw it. He's under a little pressure. Risky throw caught by Scotty Pickens, and he will bring it into the end zone. His 24th total touchdown of the season. He's now got 4 already in 5 quarters of playoff action. The offense looking great so far. The defense, though, not so much. It's a 3rd and 6 for the Bengals. They now have the ball in the red zone at the 20. Burrow will go short. It's caught by Xavier Apple-Benz, the former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. He'll bring it to the 6. So now the Bengals are inches away here from tying it up. We'll see if they can punch it in. 3rd and goal from the 1. Bengals in a goal line formation. It's a handoff for Joe Mixon, and he is in. With Derrick Henry retired, Joe Mixon is now pretty much the oldest running back left in the NFL. We're tied at 14, and now the offense has another opportunity to score in what has been a high-scoring duel. 3rd and 2, Romeo on the run. It's broken up, trying to make a play, but he is unsuccessful. However, we're at the 39. We're not really in field goal range. We're not in punting range, and since we're only 2 yards out, let's go for it. Sometimes it's good to grow a pair of balls and be gutsy. Elijah Bryant up the middle, too easy. It's nice having a guy like Elijah Bryant who is so good in short yardage situations, even if he's not an elite power back, even if he's not elite under contact, he knows how to find the hole quickly. 3rd and 4, Romeo looks to throw it, and he will be incomplete, trying to get it to the rookie, Richard Costanzo. We would tack on 3, though, to take the lead, but the Bengals would immediately score, and Cincinnati's now ahead. The offense looking to score before the end of the half, and that's a good starting point. Risky throw into the hands of Hot Rod Pryor, who makes the play. Following play, another risky throw. It's caught by Scotty Pickens. He gets it to the 37-yard line. Clock is ticking. The Titans still have all 3 of their timeouts, waiting for the opportunity to use them. Romeo up the middle is an open man. It's Garrett Wilson to the 14. Titans call timeout number 1. They still got 23 seconds left on the clock. Following play now for Tennessee, Romeo in the zone. He will connect with the rookie tight end, Richard Costanzo. He's in for the touchdown, and the Titans will take a 24-21 lead here at the half. The high-scoring explosion continues as we move into the 3rd quarter, and the defense is looking to get a stop. 3rd and 5 for Cincinnati, around 3 minutes into the quarter so far. Burrow looks to throw it. His pass is intercepted! Cardell Himpson strikes again. Can Burrow catch up to him? It doesn't look like it. Cardell Simpson takes it all the way for a pick 6. And the Titans lead it by 2 scores. Cardell Simpson continues to be awesome, even now getting older at 29 years old. Dude is still balling out, making plays. So now the offense has it back in the red zone. This was once a really close game that we're now trying to turn into a blowout. 2nd and 3. Romeo Colucci's in for a touchdown, and the Titans take a 3-score lead with around 4-ish minutes left in the third. Let's see if we can hold on, as we would allow a quick touchdown. We would allow another touchdown, and all of a sudden, this game has gotten really interesting. It's 38-35. The Bengals are moving it down the field very nicely again, but we have all of our defenders in the zone, and it won't matter on this play as the Bengals get the first down to the 20. They are now in the red zone with a golden opportunity to tie the game up or, worse, take the lead. 2nd and 6 from the 16. It's a screen, and the defense reads it completely. Josh Sweat into the backfield, forcing a loss of about 4. 3rd and 10 now, back at the 20 for the Bengals. Probably the biggest play of the game so far. Burrow under pressure, goes short, it is caught, but Caleb Farley is there to quickly bring down Xavier Benz, and the Titans get the stop in the red zone as the Bengals are going to look to tack on 3 points and tie the game. Evan McPherson looking to knock this one up at 38. The kick is on the way, it's up, and it is good. 38-38. The Bengals have scored 17 points in a row. The offense has cooled off after we were great for 2.5 quarters. Let's see if we can get a big drive here with 3 minutes and 31 seconds left as we try to make our 4th consecutive Super Bowl. With a spot in Super Bowl 64 on the line, 3rd and 8, short throw for Costanzo. He'll get the first down at the 40. Good start. Romeo Colucci having another very good game, as you can see. 3rd and 1, Elijah Bryant up the middle. Does not get it. He's literally inches away. The Bengals call the timeout, expecting the Titans not to go for it, which is foolish, because they're obviously going to go for it, and they will get it. Colucci off of the QB sneak. We're trying to choose some clock here. We don't want the Bengals to get the ball back with a lot of time, and we're pretty close to field goal range. This will make it official. Elijah Bryant to the 23, and the Bengals are going to call timeout number 2. We are officially in chew clock mode. Let's finish out this game with no funny business. 2nd and 10, handoff for Elijah Bryant. That'll center the kick here. And now the field goal unit is out on the field. Daniel Carlson from 41 yards out. It is good. The Tennessee Titans are going to take the lead with 9 seconds left. Maybe we could have ran another play to make sure there was no time left on the clock for the Bengals to run a Hail Mary or something. But I'm not really worried about it. With 2 seconds left on the clock, what are the odds that the Cincinnati Bengals get a game-winning Hail Mary here to advance to the Super Bowl? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. What the hell just happened? So, it's over. The dream is over. We just lost the game. The Bengals complete the Hail Mary from Joe Burrow to Malachi James, and Cincinnati, not the Titans, are going to Super Bowl 64. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. What the flip just happened? How did we lose that game? We were up by 17 points in the third quarter. We were up by 3 with 2 seconds left. And then Joe Burrow launches a prayer. He overthrows the Hail Mary. But lucky for the Bengals, Malachi James, the tight end, is behind everybody. So he catches it and scores. And we will not make it back to our 4th straight Super Bowl. Romeo was good. He actually outplayed Joe Burrow by quite a bit here. Xavier Benz was good for the Bengals. Obviously, Malachi James with a game-winning touchdown. Cardell Simpson with 2 interceptions. He was really the only defensive player who showed up today. The rest of the defense laid a massive egg. So with that, we're not going to the Super Bowl, and the Bengals will be facing off against the Los Angeles Rams. I don't think the Rams are all that. I think we could have easily beat them, so it's unfortunate that we don't get the opportunity to play against them. We do have quite a few Pro Bowlers, though. Romeo Colucci, Scotty Piggins, Stephon Fingard. We have Nate Davis, Evan Smith, Harold Landry, Cardell Simpson, Caleb Farley, Amani Ward, and Jeffrey Walker. So that's 5 on offense, 4 on defense, and a special teamer. So now we will go into Super Bowl 64, the Bengals and the Rams, a rematch from around a decade ago. And the Bengals get revenge. They beat the Rams 28-24. So the Bengals' game-winning Hail Mary literally gifted them a Super Bowl. And if not for that Hail Mary, I'm thoroughly convinced we would be 4-time Super Bowl champions in a row. but it does not happen. Our reign of terror comes to a close because of a literal freak Hail Mary at the end of the game, and a game that we should have won. Although if it makes us feel better, we didn't deserve to win the New England game at all. So I guess there's that. That'll wrap up the episode. Certainly a disappointing ending, but still really fun. We got another Super Bowl. Romeo Colucci wins an MVP. Romeo Colucci signs a $400 million contract extension. In the next episode, we're going to move even faster. I think we're going to look to make it through 3 seasons, and then the following episode will be the series finale. We're going to go through as many seasons as we need to until everybody retires. So I think right now we're looking at 2 more episodes of the series, and then before you know it, Madden 24 is out in a week and a half. So, yeah, that'll wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. Tighten up.